Hey guys, Dirt here. Yesterday I got a chance to sit down and read the new Star Wars #1 from Marvel. Now, before I get into talking about the book, I think there's a couple things that I need to mention right off the bat, just to let people know where I stand. I am a fan of Star Wars, pretty much the original trilogy. Never got into the extended universe very much, expanded universe, whatever you want to call it. Never really felt a need to try to defend the prequels. There's some stuff that's in there that's okay, but for the most part, I've never really had a desire to go back and watch them, again. And never really felt a need to, watch all the cartoon shows and play every video game and all that kind of stuff. So, I grew up with the original trilogy. That's pretty much what I think of as Star Wars. And as Dark Horse over the years had done a bunch of comic series, I didn't feel the need to read them all. I liked things like Agent of the Empire, that was James Bond set in the Star Wars universe. I tried reading the ongoing series that they did, that launched, a year or so ago, and I read maybe the first 3 issues and just didn't really care enough to go back and read a whole lot more about it. So when the new #1 from Marvel came in, I thought I'd read it, but didn't really think I'd worry that much about the franchise or what was going on with the series or anything like that. But as it turned out, I really enjoyed the book. It is set after the first movie, before the second movie. You've got Han Solo, Princess Leia, Luke Skywalker, Chewbacca, R2-D2, C-3PO. You get the voice of Obi-Wan Kenobi. You get Jabba the Hutt name dropped. You get Darth Vader making an appearance. So, everything that you think of, the Millennium Falcon's in it, everything you think of is along those lines of the core Star Wars experience is really there. And I think probably because it's set after the first movie, before the second movie, and it's done in such a way. One of the problems I had with the Dark Horse series is that it really felt like you had to know your Star Wars stuff. They kept name dropping planets and name dropping, Commander whoever, and just these different people. And I was never that big into it. And this does seem much more accessible, much more for the casual fan. That original trilogy, you're going to know this fits in perfectly. Everything they say, really seems to work out. And the artwork is really well done. Han Solo looks like Harrison Ford. Princess Leia looks like Carrie Fisher. The likenesses are really well done. Everything plays along nicely. And the story is pretty easy to follow, which is another good thing. It doesn't jump around too much. You're pretty much following one series of events as things unfold, which make it much easier to digest. You're not jumping around in between a bunch of different plot lines, following a bunch of different characters, doing a bunch of different stuff. This is the gang. They're all together. They're following up, after the first movie. Things are pretty well established at that point. So everything just kind of works out nice and easy, and it's, a good read. I really enjoyed it. It's definitely one of those things where I got done reading it, and I thought, yeah, I would like to read the next part of this story. I do want to know what's going to happen after this. So with all that in mind, I have to say I'm going to give it 85 out of 100. I'd go a little bit higher maybe if it felt like it was more of an important story. One of the big problems I have with these books is it's in between the first and second movie. We know how things play out. So you're kind of dealing with this situation where they're put in a hostile environment, but everyone's going to make it because they're in the second movie. So that's really about the only thing that detracts from it overall. But otherwise, I'd say, everything else was pretty good. So Marvel Star Wars #1 gets a thumbs up. Good book, 85 out of 100.